what I was going to plan as my guide today, talking about membership, understanding retention, understanding engagement scoring and how that fits in, and then tying that back to the rest of the systems, email, website, all that great sort of stuff. So what we're looking at is Acumen. It is web-based. So any browser, smartphone, tablet, you can easily access it. If you want to do it via an app as well, Power BI has an app you can access all this from. We give unlimited logins. So as many users who want to access this can, and it's a role-based login. So if you want to be so bold as to give volunteers or board members or committee leaders access to very limited pieces of data, we can accommodate that as well. And then it's menu driven. So we've broken it up into easy to understand ways that people should know. So I assume in your organization, we have members, they go to events, they buy stuff from us, we market to them. Marketing could be social, email, web. We may have other things they do, a community, an LMS, and other is a great place to put things that don't have a good label. We want to overall track engagement. And for all of you, I'm going to make sure we spend time in My Acumen, because what this is a custom workspace inside the platform that allows you to take everything we've built, change, modify it, build on top of it, or start with a blank sheet of paper, have access to the full data model, and build whatever you want from scratch. Now, most of our clients don't need that because we think we've covered most of what you're asking in our existing visualizations. So when we start with each visualization, when we start with membership, we want to start very simple at the most basic item. And some of this you can certainly get from your CRM, but hopefully in a few seconds, I'm going to show you we're building things on top of that that you can't get directly from your CRM. So when we start, we want to start with KPIs. How many current members do we have? New members, rejoins, drops. And from there, we're going to build and build. Then we want to start calculating things. So what's the revenue we've generated from membership this year? We want to understand how you calculate retention, and we want to plug that in so it's right here for everyone to see. We want to show year-to-date metrics. So how are we pacing this year, either versus last year's number or versus our goal? We want to show historically how things have changed over time. So here we get our membership over time. Now, you don't have to have the platform for 6 years to get 6 years of membership. We'll go rebuild that based on all the historic data you already have. So we'll go back in time and build that. If you ever wonder what your retention was 2 years ago for this one member type, you'll be able to figure that out. The next piece is the filter panel, and this is going to be really important. This is on all the screens. It's contextual, so based on what I'm looking at, I'll get different filters and slicers. And I can't stress this enough, these are your filters. So based on that discovery process, we're going to understand how do you slice and dice and classify your members. Is it by category? Is it by type? Is it by chapter? Is it by people who are certified? Little Power BI logo, there it goes, there it loads. Good to go. And load speed is really important for us. We want to make sure that all this is available for the average business user pretty quickly. There we go. So I can use things like member type. I can use all these filters to ask whatever question I want when I want. So I want to understand the historic trend of my associate members and how has that changed over time. If I click it, everything updates very quickly in real time. I now have an answer to that question. Now, each visualization is designed to answer one or multiple questions we think you should be asking about your data. Things like membership lifecycle get to the point of every month we drop members, we get new members, we get rejoins, we get reinstates. How are we doing? All of these you can mouse over, you can see the data. A lot of these are going to have drill downs built in. All of these have like spotlight and show table. So if I really want to know the data behind this, here it is. The other thing all of these have built in is anytime you see a drill, it means that visualization has a drill through built in. So one thing we'll do is we'll talk about retention. And if members didn't renew, are we doing a campaign to win those members back? So 2 months ago, we had a lot of members drop. I want to understand more about that. So I will right click on that and I get a number of options with my drill through. I typically want to start with like a breakdown. So tell me more about the members who didn't renew. So 2 months ago, 971 people, that's a lot of people that slipped through the cracks here, did not renew. And this is the breakdown of who those members are from a demographic or DNA standpoint. Now, again, this is configured with your demographics. So what are you capturing? What are you storing from a demographic standpoint? Also, what behavior are we collecting from these individuals that can lead us to know more about them? Sometimes job function is I log into the CRM and I check off a box, I'm this job function. We have found that people are historically bad at updating their profiles, so it's old data. We've also found that people are bad at self-identifying. I say I'm really into sports, but I'm not. I never watch sports on TV, so that's probably a bad preference for me to check off. The behavioral data tends to be more telling of what people actually are into. You know, what am I actually watching on Netflix results in what they recommend, not what my profile was. They don't even have a profile on Netflix. That's how bad we are at it. So same thing here is these demographics can be derived based on the behavior of an individual, allowing us to gain insights into them based on their past purchases. The emails they open and click on, the web pages they go to on a regular basis can help lead me to better, deeper insights about those members. And then that goes into the data governance piece. Because if we don't have a common taxonomy across all of our properties, if we're using one taxonomy on the website and a second taxonomy in our email, it's very hard for us to derive that specific piece. So we want to work with you to understand how they're set up now and make recommendations on best practices, align the taxonomy between all of your platforms. So when I click on link number 3 in the email, it sends the same data back to if I go to that specific page on the website, we're not in conflict with the way our tags work. That's really important. So last step I want to do here is, we want to do a renewal campaign for those people who are interested in education. I can drill through one more time and I can get a list of those individuals. So this list I can now export. I can pull this list out into whatever I want, and then I can start executing that campaign right from there. I emailed 300 people today. I want to call 6 people. Of the 300 members, of the 72 members who love education, who should I pick up the phone and call? Because when they were a member, they were highly engaged. So we're going to talk about how we got here in a minute, but engagement score is a critical piece of this. Let's go find, no one's super engaged. There we go, 2. These 2 members were in our 70 to 80% bucket. That's a highly engaged member right there. There's no reason these 2 members shouldn't be renewing with us. It's probably we don't have their address right, or we didn't set their automatic debit up. We need to contact these people and get that done, because these are our suspects. These are the people we highly suspect are likely to convert if we ask them correctly.